What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. It's been a long time. I just realized the other day it's been a month since my last video. So a lot of things have happened sort of recently. If you guys can see, let's see around here, tranny came back. Tranny came back, so that's a good thing. We're gonna end up getting that back in here and get this thing back on the road. Bobby still has the turbo and manifold, and we'll probably work on getting that back soon. So today we're gonna focus on this. This is the new clutch setup for the truck. I'll go over it more when I have the old one out. If you guys remember, let's go down here, I'll show you. So what we had in the truck before, and I'll go over why we're changing it, but was this is a Clutchmaster FX1200 dual ceramic clutch. I want to get it out and on the tailgate next to the other one and kind of show you guys how they compare and what the differences are, and why I'm taking it out, because it's not a bad clutch. It's just not, I don't know how to say it. It's not what I wanted, from all the reading and looking and researching, trying to make sure that whatever I bought was going to be good enough for what I wanted it to do. Anyway, it's not for me, and I'll go over that when it's out. But what we need to focus on now, I need to get the pressure plate off, then we can get both friction plates off because it's a dual disc, the mid plate, and then we can get the flywheel off. And see, I got a rear main seal just in case, because this right here, little oil down here, kind of worried me a little bit. But looking back there, I don't think it's coming from the actual rear main seal. So once we get this all off, then we'll look and see what we need to do from there. I honestly don't know how much we're gonna get done today. I don't expect to get the transmission back in because I don't have a spare set of hands, and doing it by myself on a floor jack is kind of I dread it. So we'll see how far we get today, but I want to focus on this clutch first of all. Alright, so looking in here, we're not looking too bad. The rear main seal does have a little moistness to it, and I should change it while I'm here, but I don't really want to. I can't make me do it. So as you guys saw, we got the old clutch out. This is the Clutchmaster FX1200. I thought this was going to be a great option for me when I bought it. There's a couple things I didn't think of when I did buy it. One, this clutch is super lightweight compared to this guy, which I don't even want to lift. This whole setup is really, really light. Makes it really easy to install. I did a video on this before, but I think it took over 20 pounds of rotating mass off the crankshaft. So if that's telling you anything, that's a lot. But this clutch just isn't for me. I thought this clutch has 6,500 miles on it. It's only been in there for a year. I figured I'd take it out, clean it up, and somebody could use it, right? I'd maybe sell it, and I had it in my head that I wouldn't even make half of what I paid for it. Somebody could use it, but I don't even know if I feel right doing that, because opening up, take the pressure plate off. They have these little metal bearings, right? They fit in here. And what that does, those are for the mid plate. So the mid plate's supposed to fit nice and tight in there, not really rattle. Well, it's beating grooves in there. and feel the grooves. You guys probably can't see that, but it's beating grooves in the mid plate already. Looking at the actual plate, you guys are probably gonna say, leave a bunch of comments saying, oh, you guys, you can't drive a clutch and this and that. I can. It's just this clutch we didn't really get along with. This doesn't look too bad. There's a couple hot spots, but mind you, it's a full ceramic clutch, and you're gonna have that. You're gonna build heat. The pucks don't look too bad on the first plate. I mean, the pattern here, it's had heat in it. It's had a little bit of heat in it. Once you slip these pads a little bit, they get hot fast. This side looking good. Even still got, you know, parts that haven't even touched yet. And then you have parts of the pads that have obviously been used, gotten warm, whatever. Looking at the mid plate, they drilled the mid plate, which is awesome for heat. And there's still machine marks in the mid plate. If you can see that. So, I mean, as far as the life on this clutch, it's brand new. In my eyes. There's just, you know, little hot spots here and there on this guy too. On the other side, you're gonna have the same. No deep grooves, nothing crazy. Still even have some machining marks in there. And those bearings, like I was telling you about, they go there, and they keep that mid plate tight. Well, for the most part. And then the lower friction, this one doesn't look any worse. You know, it's been used. But for some reason, you flip it over here, and I don't know if you guys can see the grooves in those. I don't like that. I don't know what caused that. If something got in there or what. But I don't like the grooving in there. And these aren't deep, but I don't like how this flywheel's wearing. And I'm wondering, let me know what you guys think. If you agree, disagree, no more than I do. You probably do. But looking at the wear on the flywheel compared to the wear on this first friction, compared to everything else, like the mid plate and the pressure plate and the friction on the other side, you know, the first friction, my first reaction is that the flywheel is too soft. The flywheel is not hard enough, like the mid plate and the pressure plate, and that's where you're getting this grooving. It's trying to pull material, but I don't know. I'm not happy with the decision I made with running this clutch, especially for what I do. 9 out of 10 times this truck's just getting daily driven. I'll beat on it here and there. That's why we're back in it. But I don't know what to say about this clutch. I'm not happy with it. Definitely not happy with it. And any of you guys that are looking into them, when I put it in, I thought it was great. I had very high expectations for this clutch. But looking at the flywheel now, after driving this clutch, after having experience with this clutch, I think it's got its place. I don't think my truck is the place for it. Maybe, I don't even know if this would be a sled clutch or what, but it's just, I'm not happy. But that's okay, because that brings us to this guy. This is a Valair quiet dual disc staying ceramic. This is a full ceramic clutch, just like that one was. You guys might beat me up that I'm doing the same thing to myself. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right? Well, I'm insane. I just have a funny feeling, or I have it in my head, that I don't need to run an organic clutch. I want to run a ceramic clutch. I want that clamp force. I want the holding power. I want all the things that a ceramic clutch will do. The main thing is putting up with abuse. I don't even know how to explain it, but driving this truck in ways that it shouldn't be driven. It's an 8,000, almost 9,000 pound truck. I think it went on a diet when the bumpers came off and everything. I think it's right over 8,000 pounds. Driving it how it shouldn't be driven is what I do. I'm easy on it most days, but some days I'm not. And an organic clutch just isn't going to cut it for me. So that's why we went with this full ceramic clutch again. So this clutch is going to be a little different than that guy. A lot different, actually. This one is a lot heavier. A lot heavier. I don't know the weight. I guess I can go get a scale and do that, but I don't think I'm going to. Just know that this has a lot more mass than that. Pulling the bolts out, pulling the pressure plate out, because we need to pull this apart anyways. That pressure plate's a lot heavier. This has way more surface area than that guy. It's a sprung plate, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pucks on this one. I think that one, I don't know, what did this one have on it? Six bucks. Let's go 10. So I can already tell you this is gonna put up with a lot more than that. Diameter is probably bigger. Diameter is a lot bigger. I need to take this. So this is a quiet version, okay? Now, what South Bend does, I don't know if they do it anymore, but my last South Bend had little bushings in there on the floater plate that would keep the floater plate centered and quiet. Well, Valair uses these straps. So this floater plate, even on this guy with the bearings I showed you, that floater plate rattles. This floater can't rattle. These straps hold it in place. This cannot rattle, which means it cannot do this motion when it's in the truck. So I need to take, because we need to take it apart anyways, I need to take these bolts out here to get the floater plate out so I can get this other plate out so I can get this flywheel bolted to the crankshaft of the truck. So one thing to be careful of when you're doing this for yourself, when you're doing this on yours, if you did the same thing, got a Valair quiet dual disc, anything, they spray paint the pressure plate, the mid plate, the flywheel. Keep those lined up. That needs to be lined up because everything is balanced and happy, and you don't want to go screwing that up. Okay. Now the mid plate will come out. Floater. Okay, you stay. Come out. You go to the flywheel. So you're gonna go like that. Okay. That's a lot of flywheel. That's a lot of flywheel. That flywheel weighs more than that whole clutch. Okay, one more fun fact. These bolts for the flywheel that come with the Valair clutch are 12.9s. That's a metric grade system. That's like, I think a 12.9 is better than a grade 8 bolt. This guy came with 10.9s. Even though 10.9s are still around the grade 8, 12.9s are even better. So I'm going to grab my Loctite. We're going to take the flywheel, the bolts. We're going to do this in stages because this thing is ungodly heavy. This flywheel's got to weigh as much as that whole setup right there. That came off super easy, light. This, not really looking forward to it. So we need to get this down there, get some Loctite on these bolts, start threading them in, start getting it on there, get it torqued. Fun fact, the box, excuse the mess, but the box has instructions. They don't have paper instructions, but you need to go on the box, scan that code, website will pop up. You'll have instructions for installing. I haven't looked at it yet, but it should have, good instructions will have all the torque specs you need, any spec you're going to need to install this thing correctly. It's going to have it in there. So there's your instruction manual. Alrighty guys, give you guys a quick recap. It's all in. Showed you guys the process, but make sure all your paint lines are lined up. The main flywheel bolts were 105 foot-pounds. Main flywheel to crankshaft, and then these little guys that hold the pressure plate to the flywheel were about 44 foot-pounds. Just do your diligence here. Make sure your paint marks are lined up. There's stickers on the frictions to make sure you know which one the flywheel side is. The sticker goes toward the flywheel, and same with the flex plate. It says flex plate side, that sticker goes toward the flex plate. You shouldn't have any issues from there. Everything went together pretty good. Just make sure you have a few different tools. I didn't have any 12-point sockets, so I had to go get a 3/8 12-point socket for these guys. And then this guy right here is a 9/16. That's a 9/16 nut. And then the flywheel bolts to the crankshaft, those were 19 millimeter or 3/4 inch. So that's pretty much all you need. Just a few different little steps here and there in between to make sure everything goes smooth. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for today. Got that clutch in. Took a lot longer than it should have. I just kind of cruised today. Like I was saying before, I mean, it's been a while since we've had another video. A lot of things have happened. So we were waiting for the trainee to come back. We took a week and went to Vegas for SEMA. And then when we got back, the day I got back, came home, everybody's sick. Naturally I get sick. So I've been down for a while there too. So I'm not trying to make any excuses, but we're gonna actually get busy, get this thing back going. Next video, well, I don't know what the next video is gonna be, to be honest, because we have a lot to do. We have to get the transmission back in, all that fun stuff. We need to get the turbo and manifold back on Bobby that we got back from warranty, so we can get ours back on this truck and then go from there. There's a lot more that's gonna pop up with this too. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.